If you had a short message to the people listening now that are feeling intellectually intimidated, that keep being told what to read or what to think or how high to jump or how to dance, what would you say to those people?
Be brave. Be braver. I don't underestimate it at all. I don't underestimate the problem if your boss says you have to read these books. The problem is saying, actually, no, thank you. I work for you, but you don't get to decide what I read. You don't get to tell me what I read. I don't underestimate the problem with that. I don't underestimate the problem for people sent on these crappy, totally fabricated, false, mentally defunct, bias training sessions. I mean, I can rip these things apart very easily. Anybody can. This is a totally crock thing. It's like being sold some potion with silver in it to beat coronavirus. This is the work of hucksters and fraudsters. But I don't underestimate how difficult it is if you are in the employee ranks of an organization and your bosses try to make you go through this. I don't underestimate at all that it's hard. But everything always is when it means doing the right thing. And this is less hard than almost anything else. Anything else our forebears have done, anything else our ancestors have done. This is really easy in historical terms. It simply requires people to know the arguments to make and to be braver in making them. To say, sorry, I've done nothing wrong. I have done nothing wrong. I am not guilty because of the color of my skin. I'm not guilty because I'm straight. I'm not guilty because I'm a man. And I'm not going to be made to feel guilty. And what's more, to warn the people doing this and say, let me tell you what comes down the road at you if you play this game at me. If you want to play games of historical guilt, fine. They will fly out in every damn direction. And you've got it coming to you. I don't underestimate the difficulty of doing this. I'm in a lucky position. I almost said a privileged position, but I'm in a lucky position because I'm a writer. I've been a writer all my life. I can say what I think. I know that a lot of people feel they can't, but it's time they did. It's time they did. It is quite wrong to make people limited in their lives because of a character trait over which they have no control. It's a terrible, wicked thing when that happens to people because they're black. And it's a terrible, wicked thing when it happens to people of any other skin color too. It was a terrible thing when women were not able to achieve what they could achieve in their competency and potential because they happened to be women. Everybody should hope that that situation has stopped in the societies we are in, or is at least as limited as it can be. And sadly, there are places around the world today in which women simply have no chance. Many countries I've traveled to across the Middle East, across Africa, across the whole world, where women can't achieve their potential. It's a terrible thing. It limits your entire society. It takes half of your society away from achieving its potential. So we know that this is terrible. We should agree it's terrible. And it's also terrible to limit people's potential because they happen to be men and to tell them that they're toxic, like Gillette and the American Psychological Association, and pretend that being a man has something terrible about it or is only terrible. I mean, we've got to stop this, and people have got to speak up against it. And they've got to speak up now.